the liar knows what lie he told. You see what I'm saying? So even if I made it deceitful and I made you think that the answer is over here, but the answer is really over here, I'm still going to be looking over here. Me, the one that tricked, because I know this is the right answer. Black people have lost their identity, but our oppressors have not lost our identity. But our oppressors have not lost our identity. But our oppressors have not lost our identity.
But I want to understand this. When my friends that are Ethiopian Jews, Falashas, they're called, let's look it up, please, so I'm not Falashans. I think there might be the oldest Jewish people, right? Maybe. Let me know. And they're saying, like, from my tribe, I'm Igbo, Nigeria, that they're saying that there's Jews out of Nigeria too, the oldest tribe. I'm Igbo, Nigeria, that they're saying that there's Jews out of Nigeria too, the oldest tribe. I'm Igbo, Nigeria, that they're saying that there's Jews out of Nigeria too, the oldest tribe.
שלום עליכם לכל חכמים שנמצאו בתור כל העולם. Blessed and with peace be all those who are found throughout the entire world. It's been about a month now that the Obadiah Alliance has issued a ruling on the Israelite identity of the Igbo people who are found throughout Igbo land and outside of Igbo land. They are numbering about 40 million in population scattered throughout the world and Nigeria. There has been much talk about whether the ruling that was made, what does it mean? Is it accepted? Is it valid? And I would like to say, in the name of Obadiah Alliance as the sitting chairman, that this ruling has all of the halachic weight as any ruling from any Bet Din around the world, whether it is the RCA, whether it is Bet Din in Canada, or Bet Din in South America, or even a Bet Din issued by the chief rabbinate of the state of Israel. We know that according to halakha, any takana or gezerah, which is established by one Bet Din in one place, cannot be enforced upon another community, and vice versa. We also learn in halakha that any ruling which is made by one Bet Din cannot be annulled or cancelled by another Bet Din. Only a Bet Din can examine the witnesses, but not undo or cancel or repeal the rulings of another Bet Din.
You know what you are? You are an ancient Israelite.
Ancient Israel, that's who we are. That's who we are. So if you give me time, if you give me time, all that he said,
no, we don't have
so many years.
I know. Look at this. This is pages and pages of notes. And I promise we'll give more teaching. But here is my challenge to you.
All right.
I'm hearing some of your traditions. It's like the days of the Bible.
Yes.
Do you want to remain ancient Israelites, or you want to be Jews? Do you want to remain ancient Israelites, or you want to be Jews? Do you want to remain ancient Israelites, or you want to be Jews?
And they're saying, like, from my tribe, I'm Igbo, Nigeria, that they're saying that there's Jews out of Nigeria too, the oldest tribe. My thing is this: Jewish is not a race. Jewish is not a race, but we've made it a race because we could
it kind of is.
When you be Ashkenazi, would you be considered Ashkenazi?
I'm an Ashkenazi Jew, and I'm an Ashkenazi Jew.
I want to get Dr. Meyer's opinion on this. Classifying it as white Jew, because we know there's black Jews, you know. how does that make you feel? How does that initially hit you when I say, yeah, you know, if I said black and white Jewish relations?
I guess that's mostly what I deal with is in my courses is those interactions. I think again in America most Jews are Ashkenazic Jews who are white. I think again in America most Jews are Ashkenazic Jews who are white. I think again in America most Jews are Ashkenazic Jews who are white. Sometimes part of the problem between the two communities is that some people will take advantage of that. Will use their whiteness as a way of promoting themselves, as a way of integrating themselves into whatever community they want to be in by removing themselves and denigrating themselves from some other community.
Right.
I find that problematic.
I'm white. I'm white. Unseasoned. A Caucasian. Caucasian. Caucasian.
And I know that my great-great-great-great-great-grandmother was also a Jew, you know, and it was just kind of passed down.
That's not the religion?
No! That can't be true!
Does having Jewish DNA determine your Jewish status? Great question. The answer is your Judaism is determined by your mother. If your mom's Jewish, you're Jewish according to traditional Judaism. Now, you could have a very high count of Jewish DNA, and that's awesome. That means you're connected to the Jewish people, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're Jewish. Don't forget, there are people that convert to Judaism and they have zero DNA and they're 100% Jewish.
Now, you know that we have kept a group identity for thousands of years. And then let's say, by the way, that you have 16 generations ago, your mother's, so forth and so on, right, was not Jewish. But that doesn't mean that her child isn't Jewish, because the child can count as a convert. If the child is dedicated to the Jewish religion, then that child will count as Jewish. Wasn't born Jewish. But the fact that you're not born Jewish doesn't mean you're not Jewish. If you attach yourself to the Jewish religion, then you can be Jewish without being born Jewish. So it doesn't mean that you're not Jewish. It just means you don't have a line going all the way back to that. But then, who cares about that? Why is that important?
Are you familiar with the Khazar theory? There's a theory, it's widely accepted as anti-Semitic, that Ashkenazi Jews come from the Khazars and they're not Levantine. But DNA tests.
It's not anti-Semitic. It's a question of fact. So Shlomo Sand, for example, has argued that, I think probably exaggerated, but it's simply a question of fact. If my ancestors from the Ukraine have Khazar roots, changes nothing. I'm Jewish. My grandfather was Jewish. My family happens to have a story saying that we're descended from the Baal Shem Tov. Okay, that's part of the culture. Doesn't matter what the DNA shows.
The only Jesus I know is him, and the one thing he don't need is a partner.
Mama, how do we know Jesus wasn't black? He could have been from the lost tribe of Israel. They were supposed to be black.
I bet they were. If ever people were lost, we're it.
Because you know that Jesus guy is an actual painting, of a guy. Cesare Borgia? I think it's Cesare Borgia is the guy. The Borgia family used the guy.
Oh.
Who,
Was it
one of the painter's lovers or something like
Michelangelo
that. His lovers, like his boyfriend or some shit. And they say, "You gonna be Jesus?" And he was like, "All right, cool." So he posed, and he became, because Jesus, if you look at it geographically, did not look like that. I'm saying if it existed.
There were no white people in that area.
Thank you.
I have been to Israel.
Jesus was black, the Bible would have said so.
But it does say so.
What are you talking about?
I read about it. It's in Revelations chapter 1, verse 14. I read about it in Muhammad Speaks. It says, his hair is like wool, and his eyes are like flame of fire.
Well, Lord have mercy. It sure do say that, don't it?
They be going into Egypt trying to change the color of the walls, not making them white, because I'm saying biblically, can we talk geographically and scientifically? I'll call it spiritual ish.
Right. And I know where you're going with this.
You know where I'm going with this? I'm saying
the original Jews and Jesus and everyone else were all people of color. Point blank. It can't be.
No, you say this.
You cannot be argued.
I want you to say that. Let it come out your mouth. Go ahead. Do it one more time.
The original Jews, Jesus, and everyone else who was living in the Middle East. And let me tell you something. I have been to the Middle East. Go out there. I have been to Israel, Egypt, Jordan, Bahrain. All these places I have been to.
Yeah,
Egypt. All these places. It's all brown people. It's near the equator. Okay? This is how it works.
What's your thoughts? Please be respectful with your comments. Also, please click the like, click the notification bell, and subscribe to this channel.
Listen, Genesis chapter 11 verse 10 explains the genealogy of Shem. Shem was a black man in Africa. If you repeat this back, Genesis 14 verse 13, Abraham steps on the scene. Being a descendant of Shem, which is a fact, means Abraham too was black. Abraham, born in the city of a black man, called Nimrod, grandson of Ham. Ham had 4 sons. One was named Canaan. Here, let me do some explaining. Abraham, Isaac was Jacob had 12 sons. For real, and these were the children of Israel, according to Genesis chapter 10. These were the children of Israel, according to Genesis chapter 10. These were the children of Israel, according to Genesis chapter 10.